Hello, welcome to Luke Trades Trading channel, where I am trying to find out whether I can turn trading into my full-time income and documenting the whole journey, sharing every entry, every exit, every mistake I'm taking with you. Today it's Sunday, so the market is closed, so there's not much to share. Instead, I thought I will do a Webull review, especially the desktop app that I am using. This one is for international traders, and I am trading from Australia, so this one is downloaded from Webull Australia. And I've been using this for around 2 to 3 weeks. I switched from DAS Trader with Ocean One Securities, and I did switch from two reasons. Reason number one, DAS Trader is expensive for a beginner. It's $130 per month. So for someone like me who started trading with 10 shares and then slowly brought it up, and currently I'm trading with around 200 shares per trade, I do not want to pay $130 per month. It's just waste of money for learning. And the second reason is DAS Trader doesn't work on Mac, and my Windows laptop is a little bit old. I don't really like to use it for trading, so I prefer to use Mac, and Webull is available for both Windows and Mac platforms, so that makes my life a little bit easier. Before I talk about advantages and disadvantages of this app, I just want to give you a context of how I'm trading, because not everyone is trading the way I am. So within my strategy, I only trade to the long side, and I'm trying to anticipate a momentum. So ideally, when I enter, I want to see a quick squeeze up, ideally couple seconds after I enter. Sometimes it's a little bit slower depending on a market condition and a stock, but ideally within 5 to 10 seconds I want to see a squeeze up, and ideally I want to close my positions within 1 minute. Sometimes I take trades that last few seconds, sometimes 30, sometimes 1 minute. Yes, I also do have slower trades like couple minute ones, but the longer I hold the stock, the less comfortable I feel. So to me, the ideal trades are very fast ones. Therefore, one of the most important aspects for me when it comes to software is customization of hotkeys and execution speed. But I will talk about other things as well. And I have tested few, actually. I've tried TradeZero, I've tried Interactive Brokers and DAS Trader, and now I switched to Webull. Now, I switched from two reasons, right? Number one, because it's free, and number two, because it's working on MacBook. If you want a shorter version of the review, I'm gonna give it to you now, and it is that this is the best broker and the best desktop app that I have found for international traders that are beginner, because the desktop app is free and the commissions are very low. Therefore, if you're learning, if you're starting out, there's not many options there for internationals. But if you want to hear about the details of each section and what's good and what's bad, hear me out. So let's talk about execution speeds first, because that's super important for me. Using DAS Trader spoiled me a lot because it's very fast, it's super snappy, and I had zero complaints about it. Even when I was entering very fast squeezing stock, I could still enter exactly as I wanted, very little slippage and often no slippage. Webull is slower. Now, it's not too slow, it's not slow to the point where it's throttling me, but it is slower, and sometimes I could even see the orders were filled after around a second, which is not ideal for someone who wants to do a quick scalping. But again, for me as a beginner, this is not the problem yet. It will be the problem if I want to enter 5,000 shares in a future one trade, and I want the best fill. But right now, this is not my issue, so I am okay to let it go and have a slower execution speeds. Now, they are not very slow. They're often pretty fast, but since I switched, I have noticed quite a bit of slippage from 2 cents, 3 cents quite often, up to 10 cents of slippage when the price is squeezing very fast. So that's something to keep in mind. Again, it's just fairly fast, but it's nowhere close Das Trader speeds. The second thing I would like to talk about is customization of the hotkeys, because it's the second most important thing. And unfortunately, it's not as good as Das again, but again, it's good enough. Now, everything I criticize about this app, you have to look through the lens of it's free, okay? So I can't complain too much because, you know, after all, I have the choice to pay $130 and I'm choosing not to, even though this one is not as good. So it is free and I am learning, so, you know, just keep that in mind. Now, the hotkeys are not very customizable, although they're customizable enough. So you have predefined hotkeys here, and you have only this many, so you can't add a custom one. Now, I have downloaded a version 9.5 that is available for US, and once I did that, I have noticed that is much more customization there available. So my version of Webull is version, and this is for Australia, it's hold on, how do you have to exit this. My version of Webull is version 8.6, and this is downloaded from Webull Australia, so I cannot, you know, upgrade it to 9.5 or 9.6 or whichever is the most modern for US, because it's only for US, so I couldn't access my trading account from that app. So I have to be stuck with this one, and it's got less options when it comes to customization of your hotkeys, but again, it's got enough. So I like to enter, you know, depending on a risk. When I see a nice trade, nice setup, I enter either with 100% of my buying power, or 50, or 25. You know, if I see a risky trade but still I want to take it, I will enter with 20% of my buying power just to see if it's gonna work out. And here I cannot do that. I can only choose pre-selected, predefined options, and I can only choose number of stocks. So each time I see a setup, I need to calculate it. So for example, if I see a $3 stock that's interesting to me and I might enter it, I need to go here and set it to $200, right? But if I see a $6 stock that's about to break and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a good trade, I need to go here and manually go to 100, right? Luckily, I have two options here that I can use. One is buying on Ask, and the second one is buy customize, which I also set on Ask. So that way I have two hotkeys to buy only, and each time I see a stock that's interesting to me, I need to adjust the price manually here, which is very annoying, but this is what it is, you know. Again, it's free. And when it comes to exiting and closing position, what I'm aiming to do, which I change it for now, but what I ideally want to do is I want to have three selling options. Number one is 25% of my total position. Number two is 50% of my total position, and completely close my position. So I can't do this as well. I have to choose a number of stocks that I'm selling. So I can sell, and I'm trading pre-market, so I use sell bid, and I can sell, let's say, half, which is 100 compares to my previous setup. Then I can sell customize 50, and I can close the full position, which is just selling whatever, everything I have, right? So it's a little bit of customization here, but every time I have to go here right before the trade and change it, which is super annoying and not ideal. And I wish they updated this app to the same version that's available for US, so we have those options. I've noticed that in the US version you have little plus here, and you can add completely customizable hotkey. You don't need to use those predefined. At the same time, when you're defining what's your order quantity, you can change it from share to percentage, and that's just what I need. But you know, okay, I'm fine with it. I'm just starting out, and recently I decided I'm not going to exit halfway through or quarter way through. I'm just gonna enter and exit once, because I'm still learning and I'm trying to really make sure I get good at timing. So it doesn't matter right now whether I enter with half, because it's all about entry right now. So if I enter correctly, I just close the whole position at once, and this is my beginning stage. In the future, when I really feel comfortable in anticipating momentum break, then I will start playing around with exiting half, quarter, etc. So this is the hotkeys pretty much discussed. And next thing is this section here. a P&L. Now this section is very annoying too, because it never shows you daily P&L. What you can choose is you can choose 5-day P&L, which is not a 5-day. It's called P&L, but it's not a profit and loss. It's always showing you a total amount of money you got. So it's kind of confusing because it says account P&L, but it always shows you a full amount, which in this case is, but if you, $622. But if you see here, you can go to different day, and like here I have 589, here I had 827, here I had 708, you know, so you can see the total amount each day. And when I'm trading, it changes. So if I have a $20 profit, it goes to 640, but it doesn't show me that actual P&L for the day, which is super annoying. And there is no way to change it. You can change it to like 1 day, and then you have flat line and just shows you the total amount for the day. So that's stupid. And on top of that, that already exists in the phone app. So you can go to your phone, to the Webull app, and it shows you daily P&L there. Not only that, it shows you every single stock you traded today and how much you earned or lost on it, which is another section that I want to talk about, positions. Position section is only active during the trade. But once you close the trade, this becomes blank and black again. And it's super annoying because I would love to see how many stocks I traded today and what profit each or loss each of them gave me, right? That's kind of important information. So why isn't it here? I have no idea, but it's not. But again, you know, we got to remember this is a free app, so you can't complain too much. Next part is the orders. This one is fine. It's pretty customizable. You can hide columns, you can add columns, and you can, you know, I pretty much use it as simple as it can be. I have 2 windows, one for working orders, so I can see if my order has been filled, and the other one is for filled, so I can see mainly my average price, so I can know when to exit, right? And how much profit. And also when I enter, there's this window is showing me my active P&L on the position that I just entered, but it's gonna disappear as soon as I exit the position, so which I talked about already. But yeah, just something to keep in mind. You want to have both of those. So this is the same window. It's called orders, and it's twice here because one is for the ones you've filled and the other one is for the active orders that are working, because it happened to me that my order wasn't filled and it was here and I didn't have that window then, and I was looking for it. I couldn't figure out what's going on, and eventually I'm like, oh wait a second, let's see it in a working order tab, and there it was, and I had to cancel it and then exit the position again. So that's something to keep in mind. Next we got level 2, which is fine. It's okay. The only thing is that you have to pay for market data, which is around $15, but that's nothing unusual, but you have to pay for it. It's $15 per month, I think. Something around that, or 15 Australian dollars per month. I can't remember exactly, but you know, it's cheap and it's just something that's pretty common. So you're paying for that, and the only problem I have with this level 2 window is that it is not customizable. I mean, it is, but you only can change this to blue or green and red, which I don't like neither. So I'm keeping these ones so I can see the order stacking up. But you can't change the size or the font or you can't make it bold. To me, this is a little unclear. It's a little bit tough to read, I would say, because it's so small. It's a skinny, thin font. I don't like it. Within Trader, you can change everything about it. You can make it bold and whatever color you want, and each line can be customized. So it's much easier to see. You can increase the font, and it's very, very clear what's happening on level 2. In here, it's good, but it's not great. Same with the tape. It's good. I don't have too many complaints about it, except the fact that you can't increase the font or make it bold or change the font, right? So that's the same thing. But once you get used to it, it's fine. It's okay. The next part is the charts. Now I don't use this chart for execution because I have second monitor above this one, which shows me charts in different time frames, which I'm using, and this one I only use for like a quick sneak while I'm in a trade, because it's closer for my eyes to just come from. I usually look at the bid once I'm in a trade and a tape, and I'm just kind of every now and then I'm looking in the chart. So it's closer here than going on the top monitor, but I don't really use it for execution, and I actually have noticed that are some differences. Not always, 95% time this chart is exactly the same as the one I'm using, which is built on TradingView, but it's not the same. And sometimes I had situation once when I wasn't sure, should I take this chart into consideration when the order is being confirmed or the top one, and I chose this one and it didn't work, and the top one turned out, let's say, I can't remember exactly, but let's say my confirmation was at 290 on the other chart, and here, so 3 cents higher, and here on this chart was 287, and the price went to 287, and I was like, okay, so that's my confirmation, I guess. I entered, and the other chart never got confirmed because the price didn't go to 290, and I got rejected. So since then I'm like, you know what, I'm not trusting this chart because it's not the same. I don't know which one is more accurate, but definitely this one is not the same as the one that TradingView uses. So I don't pay attention to it. I only use it for my recap days when I'm showing you where I entered and when I exit, because it's just easier to record one screen and everything is in one spot instead of just bringing the other tab all the way through, which is divided on an ultra wide monitor, so it's a little bit annoying to do, while here I have everything compact in one screen and it's easy to record it. So that's pretty much it I wanted to talk about. And as you can see, there's some things that are annoying and could use some work from Webull to fix them or perfect this app, but it's a good app and it's pretty modern. It looks much more modern than Dust Trader. Dust Trader looks like it hasn't been updated for 20 years. It looks really old, but it's very clear, very easy to read, and that makes it superior. It's also much faster. So I'm definitely will be looking into going back to Dust Trader if and once I will feel comfortable with trading with bigger positions, let's say 2,000, 3,000 shares. I feel that Dust Trader will be then much better tool, especially due to the execution speeds. But till then, at least till I get to 1,000 shares, I'm gonna stay with Webull and keep learning and keep working on my strategy and my accuracy, because that's my priority. And for that, I don't need a better app. It's enough just to enter and exit. This is enough. It shows me everything I need. The execution speed is good enough. So, I think this is best you can get in Australia for as little money as possible to start trading. And especially if you're a beginner, you don't want to start with 1,000 shares per trade or 2,000 shares per trade. You don't know what you're doing yet. So starting out with 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 shares just to learn the strategy is much smarter choice. And that's what I did. The first month I was trading with pretty much 10, maybe 20 shares. Then slowly moved to 20, 40 when I was kind of discovering my strategy. And then technically this is my second month that I count as legitimate second month, because the first 2 months I was just kind of testing different strategies. I didn't know what I'm doing completely, so I was kind of trading blindly. But from around mid-January, I started to understand and focused on one strategy, and I started to really understand it. And since then, so it's around a month really that I feel like I'm really trading. Since then, I moved from around 80 shares per trade to 200 shares per trade, and I feel fairly comfortable now entering my trades with 200 shares. And the goal is to slowly get myself accustomed to trading with 300, 400, 500, then 1,000, and hopefully even more. But you don't want to jump in straight away to that. So my little checkpoint will be if I can take this account to around $1,000, which I was close at some point, but I messed up. But yeah, if I can take this to around $1,000, then I feel like I'm ready to add some money to it and start trading with maybe 400, 500 shares, and then slowly bring it up, etc. So that's my idea for future, and those are my goals. I am sharing them every day after my trading session is gone, so you can check in every day and see how did I go, and if I'm making progress, what mistakes I'm making. I'm just laying it all out there. So if you want to join that journey, if you want to follow my journey, please subscribe, and I'll see you on Monday. Cheers.